I'm back here. Can you find me? Here I am. Let's talk about all this yarn. Hello, my name is Trish, and this is WheelTrish Knits, My Life in Yarn. Welcome or welcome back. Guess what? It is my 10th episode. That might not sound like a big deal to you, but let me tell you what, 10 is a big deal to me. I wasn't sure that I would get past 1, but here we are, and I'm really excited. So welcome or welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about a few things, but mostly we're going to talk about mini skeins and why I'm obsessed with them. Are you ready? Well, okay. Let's start with some other stuff first. First of all, I need to acknowledge the elephant on my face. I thought that being 61 years old would mean that I would never have to deal with zits ever again. But you know what? I am 61 years old and I have an annoying zit right under my glasses. Oh my gosh. When is this going to be over? Hopefully it won't be too much of a distraction for you or me, and we can move forward and pretend that it's not even there. I'm game if you are. It's been a week, you guys. I've been so busy at work and I'm pretty exhausted, and something's been bugging my stomach this week and I don't know what's going on, but you know, so I'm not feeling quite 100%, but I didn't want to miss doing our 10th episode. And I have so many things I want to show you. Like, I got some squishy mail this week. And when I say squishy mail, I mean squishy. It is the squishiest squishy mail I think I've ever received. Look at this. This is brushed merino from Asylum Fibers. And of course they had purple, so I had to get that. I've never had the pleasure of squishing brushed merino yarn before, so when she announced in a newsletter this week that she had some, I went on over and bought myself a bit of it to see what it was like. Do I know what I'm going to do with it? No, but I'm not a huge fan of mohair, but I think I could get to like this really fast. It is so soft and so squishy. My goodness. It is a 75-25 superwash brushed merino, 75 and 25% nylon, and there are 656 yards in 100 grams. So I guess it's leaning toward lace weight so that it could sort of take the place of mohair in your projects. At least that's what I'm hoping for, because mohair is kind of itchy and I'm not a huge fan. Anyway, this is so gorgeous. If you can ever get your hands on some of this, I've seen a few dyers that have it now, but if you can get your hands on some, just for the squish factor alone. Oh my goodness. I am ready to keep this as a pet. I hope it doesn't need too much food and water, you know. Anyway, so that was the exciting thing that I received in the mail this week. Now, I need to talk about my favorite yarn obsession, and that is mini skeins. People who know me know that I love mini skeins, probably to a ridiculous degree. I've never really counted them, but I'm pretty sure I have thousands. There are 5 crates of them over here on this short shelf, and that's only some. Other ones are in project bags and baskets, and I even have a glass candy jar in my home office with mini skeins in it for decoration. I use them for about everything. They're just small and cute and easy to manage, and you can do just about anything with them. I am so excited to tell you how I've got into mini skeins and what I do with them and where I get them from. It all started maybe 15 years ago. There was a company called Space Cadet Yarns, which went out of business in 2024, but I think it was just time for her and she wanted to close up shop. But she used to do this thing where she would dye mini skeins in a different color family every single month. And if you would get them for a year and lay them all out in the order that they came in, because each little bundle that she would send, I think it was numbered or something. And if you lay them all in a circle after a year, you had the entire color wheel there in yarn on display. And that was fun. I think I actually was a member of that for more than a year and had way more mini skeins than I knew what to do with by the time I stopped getting those. But it didn't stop me at all from collecting them. And I get mini skeins nowadays from a number of different yarn dyers, and also they come in advent calendars or festive yarn sets at that time of year. And also I get a mini skein subscription every month. Yeah, they're always coming in and mostly piling up much faster than I can use them. But man, I really love having them. First of all, let me tell you about my mini skein subscription. I'm sure most of you probably have heard of Row 1 yarns. Sorry for the crinkles, but I'm not going to take these out of the plastic bags because then they'd be impossible for me to manage. They come in these little bags every month, and there are 10 10-gram minis in here, all from a single dyer. And these little bundles of yarn are actually miniature yarn cakes, so you can just take them right out of the bag and start knitting, which is a major plus for them. And I totally enjoy getting them every month. Sometimes they're really cohesive and they look like a set, so I'll keep them together in the bag. If they're a little less cohesive, I'll take them out of their little bags and sort them by color. And I have 4 bins of yarn over here with Ziploc bags of different color families, like purple and blues and greens and neutrals, and I even have 2 bags of purples because, well, you know, they get saved quite often around here. Anyway, Yeah, I've been a member of Row One's Carnival of Color since at least 2020, maybe even before. But 2020 was the earliest photo I could find on Instagram showing some yarn that I had received and that I was loving in that moment. So yeah, I'm seeing people, the crazy sock lady being one. Kay Litton is always knitting them into her scrappy projects, and she's a little bit behind right now in that she said she has about 5 months worth left that she hasn't opened yet to put into a project. I am way, way beyond that. I have hundreds of these little boogers. I call them my yarn turds because they're about that size. I know that may not be a really nice term, but it kind of stuck. And everybody in my house knows what I mean when I say I need a handful of yarn turds. So that's what we do. And I do put them into scrappy projects from time to time, or a cozy memories blanket, or a striped blanket, or scarves, or, all kinds of things. There's so many ways that they can be used. I just can't use them as fast as they get here. So, but I do have hopes of, maybe in a few years when I'm retired, being able to knit some of them down and into all kinds of projects. Afghans for everybody, yay! So we'll see what I wind up doing with them. But for now, I'm just enjoying collecting, and they're so much fun. Another source of mini skeins for me is several different yarn dyers. Here's a bundle that I got last year from Ruby and Rose's yarn, and it is so squishy and gorgeous. There's this blue one, and there's another blue one in my collection, and then there's this pink that I also got last year that the color name on the band is Happy Place. And yeah, there's a reason why it's called that, because it totally makes me happy. Then earlier this year, she put out this big double set of pink mini skeins that had, like, I don't know, 20 or so mini skeins in it. And I also bought that. And I'm planning to make a giant striped scarf out of it at some point. And I can't wait because it's so beautiful with all the different pinks in the set. I say mostly that I'm a huge fan of purple, but pink is a very close second. And I love her beautiful dye style. And so I can't wait to be able to use them. A few months ago, I also bought a yarn rainbow from Marinated Yarns. Sorry for the crinkling again. It starts over here with the reds and goes to orange, and then there's yellow in there, and then the greens, and the greens move to the blues, and the blues go to the purples. And yeah, I'm keeping them in this thing so that they'll stay in order until I'm ready to use them. And then I'll have to put them in numbered little baggies or something so I don't get them out of order, because the idea of doing some big gradient rainbow project is just really exciting to me, and I cannot wait. Then one of my other main sources of mini skeins for a really long time was a dyer named Sharon Blatz, and her company is called Knit Style Yarns. And every time she would do a podcast, she would put up some colored yarns and also a mini skein set for whatever her theme was that particular week. She's slowed down a little bit now, but lo and behold, here I am talking about mini skeins, and she put up a podcast today, and she made a 10th anniversary mini skein gradient set that is a combination of a gray gradient and beautiful fluorescent colors. So before I push the button here, I pushed the button there. And so Sharon's yarn will be coming to my house very soon, and I cannot wait. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but we'll see. So here's one example of a yarn set that Sharon did a while ago. This must be just a bunch of beautiful colors. I can't figure out if it was a particular theme or what, but man, this is a really pretty example of the kinds of things she did. Sometimes the minis would be solid colors, sometimes they'd be wild multicolored yarns. It just kind of depended on her mood from week to week. And oh, let me see, I'm gonna make a mess here in a minute. Yeah, so I really enjoyed receiving a bunch of hers, and I have so many of them. And again, some of the sets are cohesive sets, and some are just interesting mixes of color. And so if they were nice cohesive sets, I tended to keep them together, or I would break them up by color family and put them in the bags with my color families in the Rogue One yarns. And I really enjoyed getting her yarns and adding them to projects. I'm doing a habitation throw that's been on the needles for a couple of years now with one of her mini skein sets, and I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with her anniversary / Halloween set that's just coming out now, but it's so pretty that I can't wait to use it, and we'll see what happens. One of my favorite mini skein sets is one that I've had so long, and it's so special that I'm almost afraid to use it. I know, silly, right? But I was able to get, probably close to 10 years ago by now, a set of minis from Opal, the sock yarn company, and they're just so gorgeous, and they don't make these sets anymore, and I have no idea what to do with it, but I need to do something because this set is really special, and it's just been sort of sitting in my stash waiting for inspiration to hit me. Yeah. And then another thing that gets me is that anytime somebody does something where the predominant color is purple, I can't usually pass it up because, me, purple, I'm a little obsessed with my favorite color. And I think this particular set is from, I think this is Emma's yarn. Oh, or maybe this is the Hue Loco. No, this is the Emma's yarn one. Anyway, yeah, so it has purples and pinks. So I am looking very forward to being able to use these yarns at some point. I just have to figure out what in the heck I'm going to do with them. And then the other thing is I usually get at least 2 advent calendars every year at the holiday time, and I can never knit with them once a day and be done as quickly as the designers intend for them to be used in that way, because I'm a pretty slow knitter. So oftentimes I'll start an advent project at the beginning of December, and then it'll be May, June, September before I finish my advent project. And that's even when I have used the yarns pretty much every single day. Last year, in 2025, I got more advent calendars sent to myself than I ever had in my life. And then karma bit me in the butt because I got sick last Christmas and spent the holiday season in the hospital. And that was not fun. And so I didn't really get to use any of my advent calendars. Did that stop me ordering any for this year? No, but I definitely am not going overboard like I did last year because, man, that lesson was in my face to let me know that I have no business ordering that much yarn at Christmas time. It's crazy. So the question often is, what do we do with mini skeins? Well, I have an answer to that. I have a bundle on Ravelry that is called What to Do with Mini Skeins. And there's over 200 patterns in that bundle with lots and lots of ideas. There's everything you could imagine. Of course, there's lots of like shawls and scarves and stuff, but there's some sweaters and hats and other things that you can do with mini skeins. You can actually do anything you want with mini skeins. Anything can be striped or colorful or scrappy. You know, it's totally up to you. But my list grows every year. I tend to start looking in the fall for new patterns to add to it. And then, of course, through the holiday season, people that put up mini skeins often partner with designers to make new patterns every year. So there's always stuff that I can add from year to year. And there's a practically unending supply of ideas. And so check it out. My Ravelry name is WheelTrish, just like here on YouTube. And my bundle is in my Ravelry account. So come on over and check it out. It's there for anybody to peruse, and you might find some really interesting ideas of things to do with your mini skeins. So that's just a small sampling of the mini skeins that I have. It would be really easy to make a giant mess by pulling out all the boxes and all the mini skeins, and I think I could make a mountain of them big enough to cover me. And I don't feel the need to do that. It would make a silly picture, but it would be a heck of a bear to clean up. So you'll just have to imagine with me how many mini skeins I've got, but it is a lot. And will I knit them all before my time is up in this earth? Probably not, but I do plan on having lots and lots of fun with them in all the years to come. Do you like mini skeins, or is it just me? Am I weird? I hope not. They certainly are gorgeous and fun to play with, and they're also easier for me to manage when I do the winding or the working with them. For me, smaller is better because there's less yarn to get into a tangle when I'm working with them. So I am looking very forward to when my retirement years get here, that I will have plenty of mini skeins to keep me busy and make some beautiful blankets for everybody I love. I especially want to make something for each of my kids because I've never really done that so far, and I would love to, so that they would have something that I made in each of their homes. And yeah, we'll see. I've got enough orange and black and spooky Halloween colors that I could probably do something Halloweenish for my daughter. Halloween is her favorite holiday, and she likes to decorate for the fall season. So, who knows? Maybe I will someday. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, so I am totally obsessed with mini skeins, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. And I don't ever really see myself not being tempted by them. They're just gorgeous little tiny balls of happiness. What can I say? Mini skeins, they're the bee's knees, and I just adore working with them, probably even more than with full skeins of yarn, except for that lovely brushed merino over there. Oh my goodness, I am going to have to find something wonderful to do with that. Anyway, so what's up with you guys this week? Why don't we have a conversation in the comments about mini skeins, or what are some of your favorite things to knit with or knit on? If you're not into mini skeins, just, roll your eyes and laugh at me, whatever. But if you are, let's talk about them, because there's so much that can be done. Anyway, I think I'm going to sign off for now, and have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.